Imagine coming home after a grueling day at the office, your mind already drifting to that cold beer in the fridge, only to find your prized backyard oasis reduced to a sad pile of matchsticks. That's exactly what hit me like a freight train when I pulled into my driveway in Sunnybrook Estates. That picture-perfect slice of American suburbia where the lawns are greener than envy and the rules are thicker than a phone book. But this wasn't some freak accident. No, this was the handiwork of Gloria Vandermeer, our HOA's self-appointed guardian of community standards, who decided my hand-built gazebo was public enemy number one. I slammed the car door harder than I meant to, staring at the splintered chaos where my gazebo once stood proud. All 60 square feet of oak I'd hammered together last summer with sweat and swear words. The air still smelled like fresh sawdust mixed with diesel from whatever machine had done the deed. My neighbor, old man Hank from next door, ambled over with his coffee mug in hand, looking like he'd just witnessed a hit and run. "Alex," he muttered, glancing nervously down the street. They rolled in at dawn. Flatbed, chainsaws, the works. Said it blocked pedestrian sightlines or some nonsense. I tried to stop him, told him you were at work, but they had orders. Orders from who? I didn't need to ask, but I did anyway, my voice low and tight. Hank jerked his thumb toward the cul-de-sac's end, where Gloria's McMansion loomed like a judgmental fortress. Who else? Queen Gloria herself. Clipboard brigade in full force. Ah, Gloria Vandermeer, mid-50s, perpetually in khakis and a sun hat, the kind of woman who measures your grass with a ruler at 7 a.m. and sends you a friendly reminder, if it's a quarter-inch over regulation. She'd been running Sunnybrook's HOA like her personal kingdom for years, doling out fines for everything from unsightly bird feeders to holiday lights that dared to twinkle too brightly. And me? I'd been her favorite target ever since I moved in 3 years ago, whispered about as the troublemaker who didn't kiss the ring. Rumors flew, said I was shady, maybe even dodging taxes. None of it true, but in a neighborhood like this, mud sticks if the right person slings it. I didn't explode right then. No, I'd learned the hard way that Gloria thrived on drama, turning any confrontation into ammo for her next newsletter blast about maintaining civility. Instead, I snapped photos of the wreckage on my phone, every jagged plank and bent nail, while Hank filled me in on the spectacle. She stood there supervising, arms crossed, nodding like she was directing traffic at the apocalypse. Kept saying it was for safety, as if your gazebo was going to jump out and trip someone. I could picture it. Gloria with her fake sweet smile, quoting bylaws like scripture, while the crew tore apart something I'd built for my family picnics and quiet evenings. My wife, Sarah, had loved that spot. We'd strung fairy lights under it for our anniversary. Now it was trash. By the time I marched to Gloria's door, my blood was simmering, but I kept it cool. Her yard was immaculate, of course, sign out front proclaiming, Sunnybrook HOA President, keeping our community pristine. I rang the bell once, polite as pie. She opened up in her signature outfit, iced tea in hand, that plastered-on grin faltering just a hair when she saw me. "Oh, Alex, what a surprise. I suppose this is about your structure." Her voice dripped honey over venom, like she was consoling a child over a lost toy. "You mean the gazebo you had demolished without so much as a heads-up?" I said flatly, not raising my voice. She tilted her head, all innocence. "Well, dear, we sent notices. 3, in fact. It violated Section 4.2 on exterior modifications, unapproved and frankly an eyesore from the street. We're all about visibility here, for the children's sake." Eyesore? It was tucked in my backyard, barely visible unless you craned your neck like a nosy giraffe. Visibility for what, Gloria? Spying on barbecues? And since when does safety mean bulldozing private property? She folded her arms, that superior glint in her eye. "I don't write the rules, Alex. I enforce them. If everyone just followed protocol, we wouldn't have issues. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a committee call." I almost let it slip right there, the bombshell she'd never see coming. See, what Gloria didn't know was that I just landed a gig as the senior compliance officer for the mega firm that had acquired our HOA's management contract 2 weeks prior. They were overhauling dozens of associations like ours, And guess who'd be auditing budgets, records, and every petty enforcement? Me. But no, I bit my tongue, smiled thinly. You're right. You don't make the rules. She blinked, caught off guard. Precisely. As I turned away, I added over my shoulder, but enforcing them? That's gonna bite you hard. Her door clicked shut behind me, but I swear I heard her huff. Back home, I didn't rage or rant. I methodically documented everything. Photos, timestamps, even a quick call to the city permits office to confirm no demo order existed. Then I logged into the HOA portal, perks of my new role, and pulled every log Gloria had touched in the last 2 years. It was a goldmine of absurdity. Fines for inappropriate mailbox colors. One guy got dinged because his was too cheerful. Penalties for kids' chalk drawings on sidewalks, temporary vandalism, and a doozy. A widow fined for her rose bushes being too thorny and hazardous. But the real kicker? Half those fines bypassed the official system, funneled straight to Gloria's personal PayPal, labeled as voluntary contributions. Unethical? Try felony-level fraud. I compiled it all into a digital dossier. Screenshots, timestamps, anonymous tips from neighbors I'd quietly gathered over months of her whispers about me being uncooperative. By dusk, I had a plan. Tomorrow's board meeting? I'd crash it not as the smeared resident, but as the boss they never knew they had. The community center was a joke. Faded banners, buzzing lights, and chairs that squeaked like they were protesting the weight of bureaucracy. I slipped in early, folder in lap, blending into the shadows. The board trickled in. A few retirees, a harried mom, and finally Gloria, toting her infamous tray of store-bought cookies like bribes disguised as hospitality. She spotted me instantly, her eyes narrowing. Alex, this is a closed session. Residents can comment at the end, if there's time. I didn't look up. Noted. She huffed, distributing agendas with a flourish. Submit in writing if you're here to whine about your little project. The meeting droned on pool filter debates, fence height quibbles. I stayed silent, jotting notes. When resident input opened, I rose slowly, placing my transfer letter on the table like a mic drop. What's this nonsense? Gloria snapped, snatching it. Her face drained as she read. The acquisition, my appointment. Effective today, Sunnybrook is under new oversight. I'm your regional auditor. The room went pin-drop quiet. One board member, Phil the accountant, coughed nervously. Gloria stammered. This must be a mistake. I met her gaze. No mistake. Please, proceed. I'll observe. They stumbled through the rest, but the air was thick. Gloria's cookies went untouched, poetic, really. As the meeting wrapped, I stood again. In my dual role, as resident and overseer, let's address yesterday's unauthorized demolition. Gloria interjected. It was compliant. Sightline violations. I cut her off smoothly. No such rule in the charter. I checked the county filings. What is documented? Your pattern of bogus fines. Gnome heights, flag angles, even a car color clash? All routed to your personal account. She gripped the table, voice shrill. Lies. I'm preserving values here. Phil paled. We need proof. I slid the folder over. Screenshots, logs, testimonies. Sent to corporate this morning. The board murmured. Gloria stood, pointing. You can't accuse me. I'm not, I said calmly. I'm reporting. County inspectors en route. Prep your books, including those outside earnings on your taxes. She sputtered as residents filtered in, words spreading like wildfire. A guy from down the block piped up. She fined me for my garage light being too dim, said it encouraged burglars. Laughter rippled, bitter and sharp. Another, towed my truck for rust spots that were factory paint. Gloria's facade cracked. This is a smear campaign. I uphold standards. I let the pause linger. Standards? Sure. Stealing? Not so much. By meeting's end, I'd frozen all finances, mandated an audit. Gloria blustered. You lack authority. Page 7 of the transfer. You signed it. As I left to applause, I paused. Oh, and my gazebo? rebuilding it on HOA dime. Properly permitted, of course. The door shut on her fuming face. I didn't stop there. Dropped evidence at the county office, where the clerk whistled low. Another HOA tyrant, huh? They think that badge makes them God. Back home, a note on my door, defiance won't stand, regrets incoming, and signed, but Gloria's cursive was unmistakable. I photographed it, forwarded to legal. Neighbors trickled by with tales. A swing set banned for wind disruption. A porch swing deemed loitering encouragement. Absurd, but the pattern screamed abuse. Deeper digging revealed Gloria's grant scam. $7,000 for eco-friendly benches that never materialized, wired to her account. Thursday, inspectors hit her door. I watched from afar as she gesticulated wildly in her power suit. Deputy unmoved. Later, Inspector Reyes filled me in. Fake invoices from a ghost vendor. Funds cashed out. Shell company in her name. Fraud city. More. Over $20,000 in emergency spends. No receipts. All to her bogus firm. Board members bailed like rats. Notes citing health issues. But Phil's was blunt. Not signing up for felony club. Emergency meeting that night. Packed house. Popcorn in tow. My slideshow lit up. Falsified docs, Venmo grabs. Gloria yelped. Attack on my integrity. A grandma shot back. Sit your butt down. Voices erupted. Fines for drying laundry. Unsightly. Kid toys. Clutter hazards. Gloria ranted. I made this place livable. You ingrates. Hank yelled. With our cash in your pocket. Vote. Unanimous suspension. As she stormed out, deputy blocked her. DA chat time. She hissed. Bureaucrats ruining everything. Grandma. Better than crooks. Charges piled. Fraud. Embezzlement. Neighborhood exhaled. Gardens bloomed unchecked. Dogs roamed sans audits. But the rabbit hole deepened. A week later, Reyes called. Second books unearthed. Linked to missing contractor Theo Ramirez. He'd griped about unpaid work. Vanished soon after. Forensics raided HOA files. Checks to Theo stamped by Gloria's shell. Storage unit hall. Shredded papers. Burner phone with threats. If he squeals, handle it. Texted to ex-treasurer Lyle, who'd fled to a cabin. Arrests followed. Lyle cuffed mid-fish. Gloria nabbed mid-phone flush fiasco. News exploded. HOA duo in fraud vanish plot. Theo's car found. Struggle signs. Case turned homicide probe. Community sobered. Memorial Park voted for Theo. Elections reformed. Transparent. Resident-led. New board, Hank. Teachers, vets. Charters ensured accountability. I handed off oversight. Walked my rebuilt gazebo sturdier. Plaque reading. For builders and the silenced. Rules serve, not rule. Sarah's vines climbed free. Meredith, new prez, brought Theo's lost plans. Building his vision. Ramirez Meadows. Scars healed into strength. In the end, was Gloria the real villain, or just a symptom of systems that let petty tyrants play God? You tell me, was justice served? Or should we all fear the clipboard next door?